There's this incredible, almost invisible science that protects pretty much our entire digital world. I'm talking about the silent guardian behind every private message you send, every time you shop online, really every secret we keep on the internet. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that science, cryptography.
I mean, it's a question we've all asked ourselves, right? You hit send on a message that's meant for just one person, but how do you know it's actually private? Well, that simple question, that little seed of doubt, has kicked off a secret technological arms race that's been going on for literally thousands of years.
So to really get how we protect our secrets today, we have to start our little quest way, way back in the ancient world, with one of the very first methods for sending coded messages.
Okay, before we dive in, let's just get three really important terms straight. First, you've got your original message. That's the plain text. Then you have the scrambled secret version, we call that ciphertext, and the magic ingredient that lets you switch between them, that's the key. And trust me, everything, and I mean everything, hinges on that key.
So one of the earliest and most famous examples of this in action comes from none other than Julius Caesar himself. Think about it. He needed to send military orders, and if his enemies got a hold of them, well, it would be bad. So his solution was just brilliant in its simplicity.
This method, which we now call the Caesar cipher, is actually incredibly easy to understand. You take your message, your plain text, and then you pick a secret key. In Caesar's case, it was just a number, 3. Then all you do is shift every single letter in your message forward by 3 places in the alphabet. So A becomes D, B becomes E, and you just keep going. It's simple, it's effective, and hey, for its time, it was pretty darn secure.
But here's the thing, this super simple method, and basically all the others that came after it for the next 2,000 years, they all had the exact same single massive problem, a fatal flaw that nobody, and I mean nobody, could figure out how to solve. So systems like Caesar's have a name. It's called symmetric encryption, and it's a really straightforward idea. You use the exact same key to both lock the message and to unlock it. One key does it all.
The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine you've got this super strong, indestructible lockbox. You pop your secret message inside, you lock it with a key, and you send it on its way. Now, for the person on the other end to open it, they need an identical copy of that one specific key.
And that, right there, that is the dilemma that stumped the greatest minds for centuries. For your friend to read your secret message, they need the key. But how do you get them the key safely? I mean, you can't just tape it to the outside of the box, right? An eavesdropper could just grab it and then poof! They can open any message you ever send. The entire system just completely collapses if the key itself isn't secure.
This problem was a total head-scratcher for nearly 2,000 years, until a truly revolutionary breakthrough in the 1970s gave us a completely new way of thinking about what a key could be.
This brand new method is called asymmetric encryption. And the big idea, the total game changer, was to stop using just one key. Instead, you generate a pair of keys. One key is for locking the message, that's your public key. And a totally different key is for unlocking it, that's your private key. Now they're mathematically linked, but here's the crucial part. You can't figure out the private key just by looking at the public one.
Now, to make this kind of abstract idea super easy to follow, cryptographers came up with 2 helpful characters, Alice and Bob. And these 2 have become absolute legends in tech circles for helping explain this exact process.
Okay, so here's how it works. Let's say Bob wants to get a secret message from Alice. First, Bob generates his pair of keys. He takes his public key, and you can think of this like an open padlock, and he can share it with the entire world. Seriously, he can post it online, give it directly to Alice, it doesn't matter. So Alice takes her message, puts it in a box, and snaps Bob's public padlock on it. And here's the magic. Once that lock is snapped shut, it can only be opened by Bob's corresponding private key, which, by the way, he has never shared with anyone, ever. The key sharing problem? It's gone. It's solved, because the unlocking key never had to be sent in the first place.
So you're probably thinking, awesome, problem solved. Let's just use this asymmetric stuff for everything. But, in practice, the modern internet actually found an even smarter, more efficient solution by combining the best of both worlds.
Okay, so here's the deal. Symmetric encryption, that old-school one-key method, is incredibly fast and efficient. Asymmetric encryption, the cool new 2-key method, is way more secure for sharing, but it's also a lot slower. It just takes more computing power. And for something like streaming a movie or making a video call, that slowness can be a real problem.
So the solution is this brilliant process called the TLS/SSL handshake, and it happens in the blink of an eye every time you visit a secure website. Here's what goes down. When you go to a website, its server sends your browser its public key,
Your browser then creates a brand new temporary symmetric key just for this one session. It uses the server's public key to lock it up and sends it back. The server uses its private key to unlock it, and boom! Just like that, you both now have a shared temporary secret key. This lets you communicate for the rest of your visit using that super fast symmetric encryption. It's the perfect hybrid solution.
So let's bring all of this back home, back to you. Because this whole quest for a secret key that's been going on for centuries, well, it's not just history. It's happening right now, in your pocket, on your laptop, every single day.
I mean, every single time you see that little lock icon and HTTPS in your browser, that's the handshake we were just talking about. When you buy something online, that's what's protecting your credit card number. The end-to-end encryption on your favorite messaging apps? Yep, that's public key cryptography. And it is the absolute foundation of all cryptocurrency.
In the world of crypto, like Bitcoin, your private key isn't just for unlocking messages. It is the mathematical proof that you own your coins. It is the only thing in the universe that lets you authorize a transaction. And if you lose it, there's no forgot password button. Your assets are just gone, forever.
And how serious is this really? Well, a study a few years back estimated that nearly 4 times million Bitcoins are permanently lost. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars today. And why? Most likely because people simply lost their private keys. That's the incredible power and the terrifying peril of a system where you, and only you, control the secret.
So we've come a long way, from simple letter-shifting games to complex key pairs that secure the entire global economy. But this quest, it's definitely not over. The race between the code makers and the code breakers is only getting faster, with huge new challenges like quantum computing just around the corner. As our world gets more and more digital, the battle to keep our secrets safe has never been more critical. The real question is, who's going to win?